Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Atlanta 175 here in the Premier Sim Racers Club. Drivers have gotten done with their qualifying. A little bit smaller field than what I'm normally used to seeing. So first is Adam Matz, second Jeff Younes, third Todd Cray, fourth Michael Lark, fifth Ray Polking, sixth Drew Ballesteros, seventh Matthew Robinson, eighth Dwayne Hunt, ninth Dean Gagliano, 10th, Tyler Seville. 11th, Troy Haydett. 12th, Patrick Dishonor. 13th, Troy Radford. 14th, Jason Mullis. 15th, Chuck Sweeting. 16th, William Kemp. 17th, Doug Wysocki. 18th, Matt Kopp. That is all the drivers here today. It's a very quiet track here, too. Let me make sure I'm not... I swore I have... There we go. Do I have sound? I can't hear anything right now. No, we do. It's just, wow, it's that quiet. Drivers have done, not done. It is 114 laps, stage at lap 34 sets of tires. I think after this race, these guys will have 2 more races on the season? Or truck series at least. Yes, they will have Kern and Homestead. Never raced at Kern, so I never saw that before. So it'll be interesting to see what that is like, because I don't know what that is. Never saw Kern before. Lights have gone off on, or lights have decided to finally change on my keyboard, so that means we're getting ready to get going here. Went to open up Trading Paints, give them all a paint and refresh. See them go white, and they will pop with their paint scheme. Looking at their points here. Standings. Show me these standings here. Cray is leading it by 22 points over Joseph McWarther and Adam Matz, Troy Radford, and Chuck Sweeting round out the top 5. Really close points battle between Haydett, Polking, and Yanesh. Haydett and Polking are tied. Yanesh is 1 point in front of them. Then Matthew Robinson is 5 points in front of Yanesh. So, but New Atlanta Super Speedway track, not one of my favorite tracks to call. This cable's going. That's what it is. Hold on here. Sounds like I don't have sound because this cable's not right. Let me fix this. Got a decently old headset here. That's what it is. But Pace Truck will pull in your Super Speedway style track after they reconfigured it. And starter will have the flag in his hand. As the green flag is in the air, we are underway here at Atlanta. Polking really get tight there after he hit Atz all the way up there. That truck just took off on him. Right now they're being pretty orderly. Matz needs some help though, because he is all the way out there on his own on the bottom. Hold his own though, or attempt to hold his own there on the bottom. I don't think he can really do much. This Cray will come down to the bottom. Now Yanesh is going to try to leave that outside line. 2x2 for basically every single row back. Every single row back. Kemp is not in the race. You do not want to lose track of the pack at this track, so you need to keep up with them as much as possible. The 34 needs to realize he needs to do that. I'd probably get down to the bottom right now if I was that 34. Get closest to the truck if you can. He is staying in touch with him at least. New Atlanta's, in my opinion, is not... I hate super speedways, but it's a weird super speedway track because it still has that old Atlanta feel. Or it still looks like an old Atlanta. It's like it's a super speedway that's just been crammed into this track. I don't hate it, but I don't really love it, you know? Not been a fan of super speedways basically the whole time that I've been a fan of NASCAR. It's literally just to avoid the wreck and hope you don't get clobbered by everybody else behind you. But Yanesh, Cray gonna go side by side here for basically what you'll see the whole entire race. Cray is the points leader. Just saw your comment there. Yes, he is the points leader right now. Not really going to look at the biggest mover, and really, honestly, where you qualify, you don't even really have to worry about that. Just qualify. I mean, you're really just qualifying for a pit box position, which still can come into play later on if you get a bad pit box. See Wasaki's still just staying back here, and honestly what Wasaki's doing, I'd be doing the exact same thing, just stand out of the way. I would get closer to Matt Kopp if I had a chance. I just want to get as close to the guy in front as possible. 6/10 is when you lose the draft, really 5/10 is when you got to kind of sound the alarm on losing the draft behind somebody. It's when these cars decide to start, when really any vehicle decides to start sucking up to the person in front of them is when they get to that. It's 21 and 89 still just going to go side by side with each other in the 9. I think it gets a little bit looser now. I think in this now... I don't know if they've implemented this rule. At some leagues, you can go below the line on come to the checkered. Other leagues, you can't. It's a kind of like a rule at Talladega. You can't go below the yellow line. I think this track you can't do it to advance your position. I don't know if they're going to be super strict on it, though. I'm not completely sure. Have to be in the driver's meeting when they wasn't in that. But again, lap 30 is the stage. So they race to that. Fuel, they can probably go to lap 30. They don't have to pit before that. You know, they are 75% fuel, I believe. Let's make sure again. Pretty sure they are 75% fuel. No, 100% fuel. Yeah, they'll be able to make it to lap 30 easily. Surprised about this other one. Looking at somebody's channel here very, very quickly. see that one Carhartt paint scheme up there. Second in line behind Yanesh. And I think Yanesh, one thing about this track that is a little bit different than typical super speedways is you can go full out in the corners. You're actually really kind of lifting getting into them, because if you try to go all the way flat out in the corners, it does tend to get a little bit loose, or a little bit tight. So you're kind of honestly lifting a little bit. If you try to go in there flat out again, you can kind of get tight and just really go straight up the track. So this is a little bit different than some super speedways. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of super speedway racing to begin with. Probably won't really see anybody pushing hard at all, to be honest with you, for basically the whole entire race until lap 10. Lap 10 is when you'll be just, everybody's brain just basically be thrown out the window, literally thrown out of the window. Oh, Hunt. Oh, there he goes. I thought he was going to hit the bottom. He hit the bottom and he got really, really tight. Tracked it up the track. That's one thing that's also kind of that'll hurt you running the bottom, is you're putting so much wheel into it that it sometimes won't turn, and if it does, the rear end will come around. Now, I think these trucks, they don't have enough horsepower. How much horsepower do these trucks have? Do the truck series and NASCAR have? I'm gonna say they're not that many. When restricted, 450, 650 to 700 when unrestricted. Is that more than? Oh, I didn't think that, but yeah, that's odd to think. I didn't know. But these trucks, I guess what makes them a little bit easier to drive than the Cup Series is, again, if you look at how they're made, there's a lot of room until they get to the spoiler of the trucks. That is all downforce. So I don't think that they can be side draft on the side where it sucks the car around. I don't think that's possible for it. And it could be. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I was just saying, Mortar's not here. I went to look at that. He's not here in this race. I was going to say, this field is a little bit smaller than what we're used to having. Normally a lot more drivers in this race. This league, sponsored by Nitro Racing, Buttkicker, SimSpeed Shop, Custom Paints at Diecasts, Realty Executives, Mint Mortgage, Real Assist, Northland Leisure Products, and SimRacer Hub. SimRacer Hub does the points. Much easier way of doing points. I think you can just plug in, I guess, like the ID or something like that from the session, and it'll do points that way. But 7 laps left in this stage, and they've dropped about a second off the pace, but I think everybody's running so close together, and the trucks at this track will be restricted too. Forgot about that. So they're really running 450 horsepower all the way around the track. Cray and Yanesh going at it up front right now currently. Yanesh, we're not going to see a lot of aggressive moves right now. That's just not, it's not worth it. You could if you wanted to just to lead, but again, we have a stage coming up in 5 laps, so it's kind of like pick your poison. Do I want to do this, or do I just want to decide to ride around? And I'd choose mainly to ride around here. I wouldn't push the issue if you have a chance. It's just not worth it. That is not in English, probably. A different language. Oh, wow. So bottom line starting to pull away just a little bit, running that bottom line probably for as long as they have, is maybe burned off the right front tire. This racing's Cray. Yeah, well, it picks up. Trust me. It'll pick up fast. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit calm right now as we got Yanesh put in the wall. Don't know why they're sorting around now. I guess they're trying to just get points for the stage hunts and go below the line. I think he might have gotten forced down there, though. He didn't go down there on his own. Maybe if you get forced down there, you can just keep your position. It's really front 3 right now breaking away. It's Cray, Mats, and Polking. Want to get these valuable stage points here with only 2 races left in the season. Kern and then Homestead. I've never raced at Kern. I don't know what that track is. I guess it's like a short track or something. But Mats and Polking could set up Cray here. They can back up towards each other and get a really big run. If they decide to do that, they have to time it just right and get a run to where Cray can't block it at all. They're coming to what should be 1 to go, or the final lap in the stage at least. Can they set him up? Will they even set him up is a question. If they decide to set him up, they got to do it right now. Yeah, there they go. To the outside they go. Matt's crazy and I have literally 0 defense against this. Polking's not going to beat. It's going to be a drag race here. Polking didn't help the 9, and they apparently can't go below the white line. It will be Cray who barely gets Mats in that point right there. Extremely close between those two. So Cray will get that point. I mean, it was very, very close between them. Everybody will come down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel. I don't know how they would go. Fuel. I'm guessing they have 1 more pit stop here. They can probably go pretty long way. Nobody should have any damage. Maybe if they do, it may just be some because they've just been hitting each other in the rears so hard. It's the only real possibility between them. See Craig come to a stop in his pit box, and oh, the 30 has spun himself around. Matthew Robinson. Oh, whoa, he just got plowed into by the 54. I'd blame that there on the 54. He's got a little bit of damage on that right rear they can get most of it fixed, though. I wouldn't be really worried about it too much. Mats will win that race off of pit road. But I will go on mute here before we get the green flag, which should be in 2 laps here shortly. The lights have gone off here. Still think people will be genuinely calm to each other and nice. If anybody needs some positions, they should be able to get them. I just don't think that they're going to be too aggressive with each other. However, some guys will completely throw that out the window. They're like, hey, here's a position. I'm going to go ahead and get it. But they're probably going to realize, hey, this is really early on. Why go and make moves that can jeopardize a chance of me winning? But pace car will pull in, or pace truck will pull in, as the green flag will go back in the air here. Of Drew Ballesteros going down there all the way in the bottom. It looks like I went past my limit on the sound there, so let me go back down on it there for a minute. Somebody's ducking out. They want to get in the very, very back of the pack. This is where you can start playing a little bit of fuel strategy. Probably see guys coming down pit road in lap 80-ish possibly, I think, and that's when their fuel will last too. But Matt's just going to lead this bottom line, poking behind him. We have Larch not high line with Cray behind him up there. These trucks definitely have been kind of locked in position the whole entire race. Nobody's been able to push ahead of each other at all to begin with. Arthur get a pretty big shove there to get going. You got Matt's at bottom line. Cray. I think if Cray sees a hole, he might take it. If there's a big enough of a hole. If it's too small, he's not going to know to shove his nose in there and say, hey, you better lift. He's going to actually give up that position pretty much. You can make it 3 wide at this track. I don't think they'll be doing that quite just yet, though. I think it's worth it. Making it 3 wide is kind of like a, hey, let's not do that type of move there. Let's be a really aggressive one. Really aggressive. You're not going to see anybody up on the back bumpers either yet. They're not going to be shoving necessarily. They might be giving a little bit of an aero push more than anything else to each other. But again, they're not going to be bumper to bumper yet. You really have to watch your water temp to 80s when they start flashing, I believe. You have to start laying off. Now, when they start flashing, what I'm saying is that will be water temp. Water temp heats up faster as Larch goes down to the bottom. No, yes, it's one of the two. One of them heats up faster. I can't remember which one, but they do cool down pretty quickly. But they heat up. You can maybe get a straight and a corner shove, and then you have to lay off, or else you'll blow the engine to pieces if you're not careful. .46 right there at the moment. 46.54. So we're going to go side by side, 3 wide here. Who's going to be the odd man out? It'll be Polking Mike. Plus, hey, I'm not going to do anything dumb here, so let's just lift to give him the position at the moment. One 9:54.89 and the 19 bottom line 21:28 46. I think of the numbers that are back there here. Numbers are not my forte. I'm a meeting communications major, not a math major. Can't remember all these paint schemes too. 46 and it's a 51 right now on the bottom. These guys in the back might want to get their stuff sorted out because racing side by side will only hurt you. You cannot keep touch with this main pack up here. And you want to be able to keep touch with them. Trust me, you do not want to lose them up front. Larch still maintaining the lead. Cray's found his way up front, but he's got really only the 28 behind him. The 28 needs some help to get up there behind him. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. The 54, really in the middle of the pack. Drew Ballesteros, I think he spun and didn't hit anything. Was getting into 1 and 2. He just got... It's weird. Matt's may have lifted here. I mean, Drew definitely got in the rear of him. There's no doubt about that. Got into the quarter panel mats, and then he gets ran over by the 89. He barely gets hit there by... I think that was... Who was that hit him? He barely gets nicked there. It's actually really lucky they only got away with that amount of damage. He gets nicked here by... Who is this? That's the Sauna. That's who it is. Yeah, that's really not that hard at contact there. I mean, it definitely damages the 93, but I want to. It looks like Matt's may have lifted because he was off the bottom. I don't know. It's just weird to. Oh, yep. He went down a gear actually. I was gonna say it looks weird. So I don't know what happened there. It looks like it evidently popped out of gear. This is going to send some guys down pit road. Others will stay out. I'd come down pit road. I would not want to be staying out. One thing I can think of with that is... I don't know. He has to have paddle shifters? Yeah, he's got to have his shifting linked to his paddle. Because that's... You wouldn't be shifting. You wouldn't even be touching that. It's weird to see a truck pop out of gear like that. That's still odd. That's just weird. Seeing that happen. But, again, not too real bad of damage on any of those trucks at all. Should be easily fixable for most of them. The lights do go off on the pace car here. Pace truck. So this is going to change up the scenario pit style wise. I'll go back another 10 laps. So they can maybe go to... You could go to lap 90 now. Lap 90 at least is when we'll see him come down pit road. That's being generous too. I'm not going to put... That's just throwing out a kind of a wild guess too. That's what I'm thinking is... It could be way sooner than that. You could short pit him. Which would kind of be a bad idea. Pace truck will pull in here as the green flag goes in the air. Larch gets a big jump, but won't matter. You not want to get a big jump at super speedways. You really want the person right behind you. Larch still is going to stay on that bottom line. Really, the bottom line's not really gotten formed up at all. No line's really formed up. They're all really laying back. Way laying back. You could stretch your fuel. The person who's going to be burning the most fuel is Larch. They are. I thought they were through wide there for a minute. Kind of fooled me. Not quite going to go at it just yet. Again, it's still early, not halfway in the race. Getting close to it. Lap 57 will be halfway for them all. As we get to lap 57. Still going to be decently calm most of the time. You only really have, what, 5, 6 trucks up here. It's deciding to be... I don't know. I would have thought we'd see everybody else up on them. Deciding to be pretty calm, relatively, for them. So that's a surprising option they're making. They're really, really sprawled out back here, especially. Look at this. They're not sorted out here one bit. Oh, okay, Ballesteros has a lot more damage than what I thought. A lot more damage. I don't know where he got that from. It must have been where he plowed into Matt's. Larch is trying to block 2 lanes at once. Can't do it. Ooh, he's going to shove up. He needs to lift. Get back down the bottom. Get back down the bottom. He's got a lane. He's not going to take it. There he goes. Now he's going to take it. Smart move by him. I thought Ballesteros was fine. Evidently, I was completely wrong on that. Matt is about to lose the draft. That'll put Gray to the lead. This has not been the typical super speedway racing that I thought I'd see. I thought we'd see a lot of, I don't know. I just thought we'd see more close pack racing. That being said, now they're starting to catch up to him again. Using all that track, so evidently they're letting them use all the track that they want. It's just not something that they're doing all the time. You don't have to do that. But Cray doesn't have any help in the bottom. He's going to need it here unless he will lose the lead to Hunt. And then Hunt will go down to the bottom once he sees that it's open there. Hunt will be burning a little bit more fuel leading, however, he's got to keep that in mind. Still, he's going to open at the bottom there. Craig decides not to take it, though. Hunt's still doing a good job. Hayden's up there all alone by himself, so he doesn't have... He just needs some help. He's able to hold his own, surprisingly. Excuse me there, if you can hear those barking. Cray just shoving Hunt basically as hard as he can. I don't know how Hayden's doing this all by himself. That should not be possible. Surprised Hayden's still doing what he's doing. He has absolutely zero help. It should not be possible doing this by himself. They are coming up on, who is that up there? Kemp. Wait, Kemp, what in the world is Kemp? He is 63 laps down. Wow, okay. This is gonna make it weird. This is gonna be really. He gets way out of the way. I think he realizes, hey, I don't need to be a factor here. I mean, you're not gonna make. You're not gonna make, you know, 30, or it's not 30, 64 laps up. This is not possible. Hunt did jump up to that high line crazy and stay in the bottom. He's got Polkin coming for help in a minute. Hunt still kind of trying to block Hayden up in that high line. They don't have help really necessarily directly. They're still lacking help. They need whoever's behind him to get right up next to him. Not shoving him almost, but giving him an arrow. It's more of an arrow push more than anything else. So lap 90 should be when we see pit stops again. Should be when we see pit stops. See, they're running up on Ballesteros right there. Ballesteros, he's laps down. Oh, he's almost about to go a lap down. He's got a lot of front end damage. I don't know how I think it's just where he ran into Matt's in the rear end. So Matt's probably has, where's Matt's gone? He's gone down pit road. Whoa, he's jumped to pits there. That's weird to see. He must have an issue going on. So that's going to hurt him in the points a lot. That is really going to hurt him. So we have to have a caution come out. Matt Kopp has wrecked here in the back. Ooh, this is... Mullis makes contact with Ballesteros. It sends him sideways. Didn't mean to speed it up there. Makes contact. Goes down into the 54. The 50 comes back up on... Oh, Lord. 50 of Kopp comes back up on track. Probably couldn't slow down in time, and he just goes right into the path of the 30. Straight into it. This will send them. This might get them to the end. He's gonna get this. That's 4 tires and fuel. That's surprising. You could have done fuel only here. You could have done fuel only, but they decided not to do that. I mean, that's a chance you're taking. It's not a bad one necessarily, though. That's such a bad idea. I'll go on mute here before we go. We should be this time by lights should go off on the pace truck. Here we will have. Oh, Cray faked him out there going back down. It'll be 40-ish laps left here. You see pace truck pulls in here. They'll have 42 laps left as the green flag goes back in the air. Craig gets a big jump, but again, you do not want to be getting a big jump here at all. It's going to be a bad decision. Craig hopefully realizes that. Gotta wait for him to catch up though as issued. See 21 now. He's got help from Dishonor. Dishonor got into Matt's earlier. That wasn't his fault, though. Or actually got into Ballesteros. That wasn't his fault, however. And just a big stack up that happened with everybody there. Hunt going up to the high line. He's got hulking with him. 93, 46, 28. Matt's evidently he's out of the race. It's kind of one of the favorites. That's really going to hurt him. Hurt him points though. we'll probably see people being pretty cautious with each other, and they won't be pushing too hard. See Cray on that bottom line still. Do have to watch. Well, now I see where they took tires and stuff. They took tires. It would also help them not shove up the track. But Cray's gonna try to be blocking both lanes. However, Hunt's gonna force his way. Cray was, or not Cray. Yes, no, Cray was barely able to get down in time to block that bottom line from Dishonor. Lucky he didn't get his nose chopped off there because it ended up really horrible for him. Really only a 5 truck. Breakaway as Cray gets really loose. The bumper of Hunt. Going to be running up on Ballesteros. Pop, Robinson, Radford, Kemp are out right now. The third he had it. There was nothing that he could have done in that situation. Two-truck breakaway. I'm surprised they're doing this. They got 33 laps left here. I do think, yeah, they should have another pit stop. I think they're gonna have another pit stop here, maybe. Just one more, that is. $21.19. Dishonor is coming with Hate It. He decides to actually tuck back down inside. So who is gonna make a move? If you make a move right now, they might be a little bit easier. I'm letting you back in. However, you're taking a chance with some guys that are still out to win more than anything else. Oh, we got a wreck in the back, though, behind them. Gonna take out a lot. This is basically the whole entire field. Oh, that was really weird. We saw Hunt blink earlier. This is some net code. This is not on anybody by any means here. Let's watch this. So they just go down into each other. And it drags Dishonor up the track. This is going to send Hunt. Hunt's going to come back down, hit Dishonor. 28 gets ran over by Mullis. Mullis is trying to avoid it. Mullis gets through it to a certain extent. Yanesh is trying to slow down. He gets plowed through. Lartz is trying to slow down. He gets drilled also. Lartz actually looks like he may have gotten away with little damage here. He stopped in time. He's lucky. No, he didn't. Yeah, he did. Not stop in time. Goes down, hits that inside wall, and that's going to give him some front end damage. Not as much as I thought it would, though. But Cray, Wysocki, and Sweeting are going to stay out. Definitely, that was the big one. With as small of a field that it is, that took out a lot of drivers and take out a lot of competitors. Some of them might be able to continue on, be competitive, but they still got a decent amount of damage from that incident. Today's mission. His pockets without them noticing. You see lights go off on the pace truck here. A lot of guys getting damage fixed. A lot. So that's going to be really only going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drivers have a chance. I think other guys are damaged too much to be a factor. They'll be in the race, but too much of a factor here, I think, for them. Because they did get a lot of damage done. Pace truck will pull off here, though, as the green flag does go back in the air. This will be 24. No, not 24. Oh, 17 laps left here. Ray is way, way out there. You might want to back up, and I think he's probably going to realize that here super soon. Hopefully he realizes it. Still going to stay up there. I don't... Now we see Seville go to the lead here. Haven't saw him really anywhere the whole entire night. He qualified. Kent didn't have a good qualifying run. Again, but I'm not that big on qualifying to begin with. I'm not a good qualifier, more of a better racer. I can run more consecutive laps than anything else. Can't go out there and just go nuts for it. That's what I was looking for. Now we'll start to see more risks be taken. A lot of guys won't be giving up position or giving room to people that they normally would give room to. They'll be more, hey, you know, you want to come down here? Well, you can deal with this later then. not going to be too nice with each other. Pretty calm and collected right now. Everybody on the bottom, surprising. Now, these lap cars could play a factor here of kind of messing with these leaders. Now, when I say messing, they can be like, hey, you know, I'm going to decide to shove this guy instead. Seville's still going to be blocking that bottom as they're going to be coming to 20 to go with each other at the moment. They're going to be blocking that bottom. Actually go on board here with one lap with 5 random drivers here since it's getting late in the race. I normally do it a little bit earlier, but evidently I forgot to do that. But we will start that right now here. These guys are kind of switching up positions pretty quickly that it's hard to choose one of them to stick with. Cray's trying to get this lead here. He might have a shot here because if he can get to the back of him and shove him here, that'll get him up. That'll get him up front at least. Excuse me. Cray looks like he's got the power to just go out there on his own pretty much. I mean, he's shown that he's able to do it. Led a decent amount of the laps, and this could boost his points a lot. He was, what, he was second? He was leading, actually, sorry. So Mats is going to be hurt. McWarther, well, we wasn't able to make this race, so this is going to even give Cray a much bigger lead, as there's 12 to go here right now. They'll stay side by side with each other. Excuse me. For now, we'll see. We may see him go 3 wide here soon. They could go 3 wide if they wanted to. Be a really gutsy move if they're going to do it, though. But you could make that chance. Or you could make that move. Did I do it? Not right now, necessarily. Maybe wait just a little bit. Say, hey, I'm going to make this move. Come and block me, see what happens. You block me, you block me. If you don't, well, somebody's getting wrecked here. Kind of the issue you have to, kind of what you have to stick with. These guys will race really tough with each other. Hopefully pretty clean. Also, I wouldn't want to see anybody get turned here. That'd just be bad overall. Get turned would not be what I want to see happen. It'll be 9 to go now. Coming back to the line. Craziness. I think Cray might want to stay on that bottom line for as long as he can. I will try not to move up off of it. You're going to be mirror driving pretty hard here, though. You're going to be looking in your mirror, still going straight. You're maybe... I don't know. It depends. You're trying not to get too far ahead. You're trying not to get too close to him, though. You don't want him to be able to get a run. You're trying to stall him out more than anything else. If you can stall him out, that's the best option to do. If they do make a move, you'll see them lay back and then make a big run on each other. Still looking. Hayden's now made his way up front. He's not been really much of a factor. He's not been a bad driver this by any means, but looks like he lost some time there. Cray gonna be blocking both lines. He's not doing anything wrong here at all. He's got to block lines here. Can't afford them to just be going where they want to. Seville will find his way inside, so that's gonna. As soon as I say that, throw that out the window pretty much. There'll be 5 to go here. More aggressive moves will be made. Seville up front now at the moment. Pray if he can get to the quarter panel Seville. That's all that he needs. He wasn't able to get to it, though, and he kind of tracked up the track because of it. Seville left that bottom open. He's going to give the bottom to Yanesh. I'm surprised he did that. I would have not left that open. That seems like a bad idea to do that. But he's able to get back up to the outside line in front of Cray. 4 to go. What move will he make? Get around Seville. This is going to be questionable. Cray going back down to the bottom. Seville up high. Yanesh behind Cray. Oh, Cray tried to block Yanesh. They almost turn each other. That's what happens when you block. You get turned almost a couple of times. He's lucky he didn't get spun around. That almost ended up completely horrible. Now Seville's gonna be working 3-1. Look at Sweden. Sweden's gonna make an inside move. They're almost gonna wreck behind Tim. Yanesh and Cray get into again from Larch. Larch sent Yanesh down into Cray. They're able to save it and keep going. Seville able to get back up to the high line. Larch was able to come back and help him. It'll be coming to the white flag here at Atlanta. When does Larch make his move? Larch could lay back and try to make a move on Sweden, or they could just start throwing a bunch of blocks and saying, hey, who cares? I'm just going to throw my brain out the window. Seville blocking as best as he can. Going to leave that bottom open. Larch, he needs to find a way to get around. Only thing he can do is really try to time his run. I go to the outside, try to get a move out there. Yanesh coming. Trying to make a move. Yanesh tried to get to the one of Larch to help him, but it will be Seville who will take home the win here instead. Watch him do his burnout here. We'll bring up the finishing order here now. Bring in the top 3 drivers. So we'll go with Yanesh first. There he is. We'll start with him. Hey, Jeff, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, we got you.
Man, so you had a pretty hectic last 3-ish laps there. You know, what was going through your head seeing almost 2 wrecks happen in front of you?
I think I was almost part of one of them, but yeah, that was a crazy finish. It was all about trying to keep momentum. I was trying to avoid going on the bottom lane, but it was kind of hard to. You basically just had to go wherever the runs took you and hope that you didn't get stalled out. I feel very fortunate to make it through there because it was a lot of contact and a lot of crazy driving there the last couple laps, trying to jockey for position.
So you qualified. Well, you qualified fourth, so you started up front. How did the race go though? Because it seemed like it was a pretty calm race overall. Though not a lot happened besides really one huge wreck that we had.
Yeah, the tire wear kind of threw me for a loop there. I was trying to lead as much as I could at the beginning there, and ended up burning my tires up towards the end of the first stage, and kind of fell back towards the back of the top 10 there. So I kind of realized, for the rest of the race, saving tires is going to be kind of important. So I think that was had to do with a lot of the clean driving for most of the race, was people trying to save tires, make sure they had something there at the end. We also had limited number of tire sets, so that also kind of played into it also. So I think that was probably a bigger story than probably what it seemed like watching it, from the booth.
And so how different is this from other super speedways? Because this was a mile and a half track turned into a super speedway, so it's not a typical one. So how is this different from others from a true super speedway, if it is different at all?
I think I don't know. There's some similarities, obviously, but you definitely get boxed in, and track positions really important. It's hard to make moves, unless you have a tire advantage or something like that. So I think that's the main difference is tire wear plays into it. Sure, drafting is important, having a good drafting partner, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the tires underneath you when it matters, there's not a whole lot you can do. You're pretty much a sitting duck out there.
So how has the season gone for you? Knowing that there's only 2 races left here in the Truck Series season.
Well, I don't think you've talked to me this season, so that's probably not a good sign. But yeah, we've run kind of in the top 10 consistently, but haven't really fought up here for wins too much, which is disappointing. But I think we're starting to perform a little bit better the last few races. So hopefully we can pull out a win here the last couple, and get some momentum heading into next season.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Just shout out to the league admins. I know Pat and Sam and everybody put a lot of work into putting this on every week, and do a great job. And thanks to all our competitors. It's great to have a consistent group of guys to race with each week. Hopefully we can build up the numbers a little bit next season. Try to get a full field, but knowing that you have about 20 cars each week that you're used to racing around, and know what their tendencies are, is kind of fun.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go, but good job coming home third tonight, man.
You got it. Thanks so much.
That was Jeff Yanesh, the third place driver. We will bring in the second place driver and Michael Lark. Let me ask for Michael here. Let me ask for him. Give him a couple minutes here. I'm gonna give him till 10:33, so it'll be really quiet here for a little bit. So we'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to skip him. We'll just go to Seville instead. Hey Tyler, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
And so you come home with the win there. What was going through your head really those last 10-ish laps, seeing those guys, or knowing that you were leading, but it being a super speedway, anything can happen behind you?
Yeah, I just kind of figured I was a sitting duck there for the most part. Um, just hoping that if someone did do a run, that they did it early enough that it wasn't a late move or anything like that, and I would be able to get a counter run on the back stretch, whichever stretch it was, and that ended up happening a couple of times, but it all worked out.
And so how did the race go for you overall, though? Because you didn't qualify great. That being said, it's a super speedway. You qualified 10th out of the field tonight.
Yeah, so this track, tires can mean something. So I didn't worry too much about qualifying and just tried to mainly stay on that inside line and save tires just for the off chance that we did get like a 40 or 50 lap run or something like that. I wanted to have a little tire left in the bank to be able to make passes on if needed.
And so how is this track different from a true super speedway? Because this track was turned into a super speedway instead of um, going to Dega and Daytona that were actually built one. This used to be a mile-and-a-half track.
Yeah, I think you have to lift more. The tire wear is certainly more. The front stretch plays a tricky part because you can go all the way down to the grass if you need to on iRacing. So you never know when someone's gonna pull a late move on you. But the track overall, just because of the size versus a Talladega or Daytona, it's a lot narrower. So there are a lot of crazy moves that can happen that can cause more chaos. Thankfully, we didn't have too much tonight.
Yeah, definitely this track could get ridiculous. But really only one thing that we had was that big wreck, and it was pretty calm after that. But how has the season gone for you so far, knowing that we only have 2 races left in the truck series?
I've kind of been a part-time racer this season. I'm not a huge fan of how the trucks drive on the shorter tracks. But yeah, at Richmond last week was an embarrassment for me. I think I was wrecked by myself a couple of times. So yeah, just trying to show up when I have time and put in the best result that I can.
And well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Shout out my teammate Hunter that was at home, and shout out Jeff. I've been working with him when I do run, and he had a great run tonight. So shout out to those two.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go, but good job coming home with the win tonight, man.
Thank you, sir.
That was Tyler Seville, the race winner. I will go over the finishing order here now. Seville first, second, Michael Lark, third, Jeff Yanesh, fourth, Ray Polking, fifth, Todd Cray, sixth, Chuck Sweeting, seventh, Troy Hayda, eighth, Dean Gagliano, ninth, Doug Wysocki, 10th, Dwayne Hunt, 11th, Matt Kopp, 12th, Patrick DeSauner, 13th, Jason Moles, 14th, Matthew Robinson, 15th, Drew Ballesteros, 16th, Adam Matz, 17th is Troy Radford, and 18th is William Kent. Not a bad race overall. Definitely had the big one. Not a lot of drivers in this race. Typical for that. I don't have a lot more drivers for the season, but next week they're at Kern, which I guess is a short track. If I had to guess that. But I'm not going to keep you all here any longer. I will let you all go.